the age of 18, he had already mastered medicine, logic, astronomy, and philosophy. He cured a king, ran a hospital, and wrote books that shaped intellectual life for the next 600 years. There was no iPad, no online courses, not even a reliable teacher, just fire, focus, and an unshakable sense of purpose. This is the story of the Persian philosopher and physician Avicenna, the original learning machine. In today's world, we chase hacks, 5-minute summaries, productivity apps, and dopamine detoxes. But over 1,000 years ago, one man built an empire of knowledge with nothing but obsession, discipline, and faith in the power of the human mind. In this video, we'll dive into his daily routine, his learning strategies, and the timeless lessons that still apply today, whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone hungry to grow. Avicenna, known in the Islamic world as Ibn Sina, was born in 980 near Bukhara in present-day Uzbekistan. By the time he was 10, he had memorized the entire Quran. By 14, he had already outgrown his teachers. And by 16, he was practicing medicine and curing patients, including the Samanid ruler of Bukhara after the royal court physicians had failed. He didn't just study, he attacked knowledge with urgency and purpose. If a book challenged him, he read it again and again and again. He would often read until he collapsed from exhaustion, and some nights he fell asleep with the lamp still burning and the manuscript open on his chest. When I encountered difficulties in understanding something, I would go to the mosque, pray, and ask the Creator of all things to open the gates of wisdom. He studied not for status or recognition, but to change who he was. To him, knowledge was a ladder to self-mastery. Avicenna's days followed a rhythm anchored in purpose and solitude. He structured his time with the precision of a scholar and the stamina of a mystic. In the mornings, he treated patients and recorded detailed observations. Afternoons were for debates with scholars or for teaching law and philosophy. But it was at night, when silence fell, that he truly came alive, reading, reflecting, and writing deep into the early hours. He famously struggled to understand Aristotle's metaphysics. He read it not once, but 40 times, until he could practically recite it by heart. And yet, it still eluded him. Only after reading a short commentary by Al-Farabi did the text finally unlock its meaning, and when it did, he ran through the streets of Bukhara, laughing with joy. I read Aristotle's Metaphysics 40 times. I could recite it by heart, yet I still did not understand it until I read Al-Farabi's commentary. Then all became clear. His mind was relentless. He didn't take shortcuts. He pursued clarity until it yielded. Avicenna didn't use time blocks. He used obsession. No Pomodoro timer, no productivity guru. He wasn't driven by notifications. He was driven by necessity. He wanted to understand how the body healed, how the mind reasoned, how the stars moved, and how everything fit together. Out of the more than 450 works he wrote, 240 have survived. That alone would be a towering legacy. Among them, the Canon of Medicine, which became the standard textbook in European universities for over 6 centuries, and the Book of Healing, a vast philosophical system that rivaled anything the West would produce for centuries. The world is divided into men who have wit and no religion, and men who have religion and no wit. What we need is someone with both. He set out to become exactly that, a man of both reason and faith, intellect and spirit. So, what can we learn from a scholar born over 1,000 years ago? Lesson 1, go deep. If you're stuck, read it again. Mastery doesn't come from skimming. It comes from sitting with difficulty until it bends. Lesson 2, Seek understanding, not just information. Don't seek shortcuts. Seek clarity. Facts are easy to collect. Wisdom, that takes time. Don't wait for the perfect conditions to start. Avicenna didn't have a quiet library or ergonomic chair. He had a candle, a floor, and a reason. That was enough. As long as I live, I shall not cease to study, to learn, to reflect. And that's the final truth. The greatest productivity tool is not your planner, it's your purpose. Avicenna's genius wasn't magic. It was cultivated through hours of solitude, through repetition, through prayer, and through absolute focus. He didn't separate life and learning. He knew they were one and the same. So, the next time you feel tired of revising the same material or you're tempted to skim that difficult page, remember the boy who read Metaphysics 40 times and kept going. Focus isn't about turning off your phone, it's about turning on your mind. Thanks for watching. If this inspired you, hit subscribe, share it with a fellow learner, and I'll see you in the next one.